Bro, I'm telling you, Apple's new silicon data centers are dead. We literally don't need server farms.
Seriously? So my phone can just run everything?
Right. Because basic thermodynamics just takes a day off whenever Tim Cook drops a press release. Welcome back to the Macro Cut. I'm Maeve, joined as always by Miles, a man who unironically gets misty-eyed over semiconductor wafer dies.
Look, microarchitecture is art. But today we have to address a tech rumor that refuses to die. Every few months, headlines claim Apple has quietly engineered a miracle chip. A piece of silicon so efficient it's going to render multi-billion-dollar data centers completely obsolete.
Right. Because why build megawatt server farms when Tim Cook can just slip a magic rock into your pocket to run global AI? It's a fun narrative, Miles. It's also physically impossible.
Completely impossible. Today, we're unpacking the macroeconomics of compute, dismantling the myth of the data center killer, breaking down what Apple is actually doing in the cloud, and comparing their hardware strategy to Google and Amazon.
All right, Miles. Bring us back down to earth. Why can't my iPhone or Mac just run every massive AI model in the world locally?
It comes down to edge versus cloud. Edge is the chip inside your phone or laptop. It's fast, private, and runs on tiny power budgets, usually 5 to 30 watts. Cloud is a hyperscale data center with thousands of interlinked GPUs, sucking down hundreds of megawatts of electricity with industrial liquid cooling.
So when I ask my phone to rewrite a quick email, that's edge. But when an enterprise asks AI to analyze gigabytes of data or write complex code,
your phone physically cannot handle it. A tiny battery cannot compete with an industrial power grid. Physics doesn't care how sleek Apple's industrial design team is. Edge chips don't replace data centers. They're just the front door.
Before we get into who's winning the chip race, we need to clear up a term you tech analysts throw around constantly. Inference. Translate it for normal humans.
Fair enough. Think of AI in two distinct stages, training and inference. The easiest way to picture it is medical school versus the clinic visit.
Okay, we're listening.
Training is medical school. The AI spends months reading billions of documents, making mistakes, and learning. It takes years, billions of dollars, and massive energy. That happens inside massive cloud data centers. Inference is the clinic visit. The model has already graduated. When you ask it a question, it's just applying what it already knows to give you an answer in real time.
So training is the expensive, painful learning phase, and inference is just applying that knowledge.
Exactly. When Apple puts silicon in your iPhone, or deploys server chips in their cloud, they aren't paying for medical school on your local device. They're just optimizing for billions of quick clinic visits every single day.
Hold on, Miles. When you talk about controlling every piece of hardware from the phone in my hand to the server rack in the facility, this is basically the SpaceX playbook. Remember how we broke down Elon's vertical integration strategy in our Architects of the Edge episode? If you guys haven't seen that one yet, definitely go check it out after this.
Maeve, that's actually spot on.
Right. Because as we talked about back then, SpaceX didn't slash launch costs from $400 million down to $60 million by finding cheaper third-party vendors. Elon looked at the supply chain, realized contractor markups were astronomical, and built 80% of the Falcon 9 in-house, from rocket engines to the welding on the hull.
100%. It's the ultimate blueprint for total vertical integration. Traditional aerospace relied on thousands of suppliers, taking a cut at every step. Big tech is running that exact same play on server infrastructure.
Explain a little more for the audience.
Google builds custom TPUs to own the supercomputing factory floor. Amazon builds Graviton and Trainium chips to cut AWS operational costs by 40%. Apple uses private cloud compute, deploying custom M-series and specialized server silicon to run a secure, private cloud.
Exactly. Why pay NVIDIA or Intel massive profit margins for server chips when Tim Cook can tell his internal team, build our own server silicon and put it directly into our custom racks? So what is Apple going to add to the stack next?
They aren't stopping at the server rack. To secure the entire stack, Apple is locking down 3 physical layers: power and infrastructure, pouring billions into domestic data hubs, and securing direct energy grid access, proprietary modems and satellite, rolling out in-house cellular modems and satellite chains, so your phone talks to their cloud without relying on telecom bottlenecks. Ambient AI and robotics, acquiring sensing AI firms so Apple Silicon controls the cloud, the pipe, the phone, and eventually home robotics or smart wearables.
Ambient AI, we just talked about that one too. So Google builds the factory floor, Amazon slashes the utility bill, and Apple is building an inescapable end-to-end fortress where they own the power, the pipe, the server, and the screen.
Elon owns the sky. Apple wants to own the digital soil beneath your feet. And I recently heard Anthropic is jumping right into the race, stacking compute like crazy with their own in-house chip team and multi-gigawatt deals.
So, did Apple build a chip that makes data centers obsolete? Absolutely not. They're building more of them than ever.
The macro takeaway isn't edge replacing cloud. It's total control. The phone in your pocket, the modem inside it, and the custom silicon sitting in the server rack are all part of one unified machine.
And as long as battery physics exist, Miles gets to keep his job explaining it to us. What do you guys think of all this? Make a comment down below. Follow us on Substack for a deeper dive. Thanks for joining us on the survival guide of the macro cut.